Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Leno56 and welcome back to Vulcan. So, in the previous episode... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hang on a sec. We're having it... Ah! Oh no. We have an issue. We have way too much CO2. Uh-oh. I've got to fix the... So... Alright, we have a leak somewhere. Hang on a sec. I gotta figure this out before I do anything else. Nope, that broke. Okay, so that's where that's coming in. All right, let me do this really quick. Okay, that's fixed. So now we have a bit of an issue with too much pressure in this pipe here, which might not actually be an issue. Let's see. All right, all these ACs are turned on. So it is... Oh, it's nighttime outside. All right, it is slowly... So what if I turn that off? All right, that'll start dropping a lot quicker. So this is really hot. Okay, I'm going to have to try to figure out how to get this out of here. So what I'm kind of thinking we do is I need to put like a pressure release valve, which I can do the same thing that I did over here. So we can do something like this. Okay, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to do this. And then... Okay. We are good. We're no longer having any sort of leakage or issues with pressure. All right, I need to do this. We're going to turn you on and get all of the Vulcan air out of our base here. So now that we have that settled, what I was going to say before I discovered that we were having a bit of an overpressurizing issue is in the last episode, we actually had our first death. And I'm kind of torn a little bit because during one of the early episodes, I said, you know, I was going to do like a permadeath thing. But we didn't really die due to like lack of food. Well, okay, correction. We did die to lack of food and lack of oxygen, but it wasn't because we didn't have enough of it. It's just because I didn't pay attention to our health bar. So I'm not really going to count that. Like if we die due to actual lack of resources, that's going to be one thing. But yeah, I'm not actually going to count that one. So in this episode, what I would like to do is continue expanding our base. I want to expand this way. I'm thinking I'm going to build the base a little bit different versus how we did our Europa base and every other base I do. Instead of doing 5x5 rooms, I want to try to do 3x5 rooms. So it's going to make it a little bit more complicated in the fact that everything's going to be a little bit more close together and a little bit more compact. But I think it's going to make it a little bit more interesting. So I can actually keep you turned on. Okay, so let's see here. All right, that's down to 14 degrees. Let's turn you back on. Sweet. And let's check our... actually, let's make sure that we don't have any actual... Nope, there's no other gases in here or anything, so we're actually good. So let's turn our suit off. Let's open up our helmet. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should start drinking water and stuff just normally now. Let's see, 40 degrees. I do probably need to get some more water. So we have 17% left on our hydrogen and about 46% left on our food. So water and food is good for right now. I just wanted to see how our levels are. So we need more CO2. So I think what we're going to probably have to do is we'll turn this on. And that'll release some more CO2 into the atmosphere here. Ooh, that's going to get hot. We might have made a mistake. Well, actually, we probably should be okay. That is actually going to cool quite fast. Yeah, we're at 90. We're at about 80 degrees. As long as we get below 50, it'll actually cool this room down. And that's actually cooling quite fast, so I think we'll be okay. Granted, it is starting to slow down, but I think we'll be fine. Because this water is going to heat... Well, this water is going to help cool the base down. Yeah, we'll be fine. We're at 64 degrees, 63, 62. Yeah, it's dropping. So I think we'll be okay. I don't really want to leave until we're 100% sure, though. Because if I have to start pulling up seeds, I want to start doing that. All right, we're at 54 degrees inside the base, and this is at 55. All right, so it should start cooling our base off now. At least yep, all right, there, it's dropping. 54.5, 54.4. Sweet. So the issue is I just have that CO2 a little too warm, which I can actually fix that. There's something else I maybe want to try to do as well. Maybe instead of using CO2 as a coolant, I could use pollutant. Now, I would have to swap out the CO2 filter for a pollutant filter and fill this pipe here with pollutant. But the only downside is I have this set up, which I could set up over here, I suppose. I could make it work, but we'll see how this works. 51.3.2. All right, this is dropping temperature-wise, so we should be okay. Now, I do need... Let's see, where are you at? You're at 42. Yeah, I do need to make some more water, which we actually have quite a bit of water right here. So, that's not turned on. Let's see, what's the temperature outside? It's actually fairly warm out right now. So we're going to hold off until this water cools down. 50.2, 50.1. As long as it gets under 50 degrees, that's what this will go under, because I don't want our plants to die. In the meantime, I think what we're going to end up doing is... Let's place some of this flooring down so I can kind of get our base reorganized a little bit. Oops. That'll work. Okay. We're going to put you there. Yeah, I gotta figure out storage here too. Come on, let me grab it. Thank you. Sweet. And then I have two left, one here and one right there. So we're just going to place this right here for now. And I need to start working on our next room here. So I want to start building this room over here. Now I do need to grab some steel frames, which we have a bunch right here. All right, perfect. Let's put you in there. Let's put you in there. We'll put some plastic sheets. All right, I do need some steel sheets, but we have 15, so that'll be enough for the room, at least part of the room. Ooh, actually, you know what? I can do this. There we go. All right, we're just gonna do that. Let's see. I need steel. Silicon, where we have steel in here, so let's empty this out. All right, so I need to do, oh, I never did hook that up, did I? There we go. Perfect. All right, let's make 30, because that'll make another 15 for, oh, Jesus. There's our lockers. All right, so let's make 15 more steel frames. And then what's the temperature outside? All right, it is starting to cool off. What's the temperature inside? All right, our base is actually, well, I wouldn't say cold enough, but we're below 50 degrees. So our plants should be, for the most part, okay. We're still not at a great temperature, but it is starting to cool down outside. So once it gets to a certain point, I'm going to move all the water from this network here into this network. And then once our CO2 cools down enough, we're going to cool down the water and then pump it into our system. So we have a few different things that we need to actually do. I need to figure out what to do with all my freaking cable. All right, we have 6. I still need some steel sheets. I want to start automating everything. Now, I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to use windows with the window shutters. All right, so we're at health low at 75%. All right, so there's 25. And then I'm also going to need 3, 6, 10 more. All right, so then we'll do this. We'll do that, and then I'm going to need, let's see, we're going to need, well, 10, 40 ingots worth. Which this we're just about right here. That's going to be all steel sheets for us. I am going to have to go outside and grab some more steel sheets at some point too. Let's throw you there. I just have an extra battery lying around. This is great. We'll swap this battery like that. And this will just be an extra battery for us. I really need a locker. So yeah, once I get this room over here built, I'm going to start moving all of our printers and stuff in it, and then we're going to have a bunch of lockers out here. So that's going to be nice to be able to have a place for storage. Alrighty. I need to upgrade our printer too for our auto lathe. Alright. It's still daytime outside, although it is dropping quite a bit out there. So let's check the temperature really quick. We're at 400 degrees. I still want it a little bit cooler before I head out there. All right, and that's actually dropping sort of fast. All right, let's turn you off. Yeah, that'll drop a little bit faster, which will in turn drop this slightly faster too. Sweet, okay. Oh, all right, sweet. These are done. All right, now we're going to do a bunch of steel sheets. Maybe if I can type right. All right, so I need to actually... All right, I have an idea on how to actually utilize that door. All right, we're gonna do this. So we're gonna turn you on and close that door there. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. 1, 2, 3. So that wall right there is the one that we're gonna work with. Let's do that. I don't have another pipe, but I do have an idea. I'll probably put a corner pipe right here and then have the vent right there. I think that'll make sense. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna have one here, one there, which means we'll put one here and one right there. Three, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3. Sweet, and we have 2 left, and that's going to be for the 2 that are going to be right there. So that'll actually work. All right, so let's go back inside for a minute here. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Which, realistically, let's do this. Let's go inside this one. Get all of the air out of here. Alright, and we should be good. I'm just going to do this. There we go. Alright, now both doors are open. Alright, we're still making steel sheets. Let's see what's the temperature at. Alright, this is dropping fairly fast, so this is good. Now, as long as the stress levels don't get too high, we should be fine. I don't necessarily want to put this water in here yet. Yeah, why are you taking so long to cool down? Let's see. Let's bump this down to 500 and we'll see how that actually works here. Which maybe... Alright, I kind of have an idea on how I should probably do these. I really need to get this area up and running. And then I would like to pressurize this at some point too. Alright, you are having some issues. Alright, so we're at 36% stress. We have quite a bit of water in here. We're at about 300 degrees Celsius, so it is a little warm. 96. Yeah, I think what we're probably going to have to do is open up this pipe right here. The downside is that that's actually moving down quite fast. Hang on a sec. My cat was looking at me like, can you let me out? All right, 279, 278, 277. And then this is at 26 degrees. So yeah, this is actually dropping fairly quick. I think that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm probably going to pump CO2 in, or not CO2, but pollutant in here. I'll figure out something else to do with my jetpack. Oh crap, hang on a sec. Let's turn this on. And we need to empty this. All right, that'll hopefully help my lungs a little bit. I also need to take my suit off so I can get some hygiene going. Which realistically, I should probably start focusing on food and water right about now. So, okay, let's go inside here. Put our suit on, turn our helmet on. There we are.
Health critical.
Yep, I know. Health critical. That's going to be my cue for drinking and eating. All right, let's take our suit off. So that'll help our hygiene levels, and let's eat some food. And we're at 30 degrees in here, so we're actually doing quite well. And let's drink some water. Beautiful. Water's taken care of, food is taken care of, and we are no longer having issues. So, now we're just going to sit in here for just a minute. We're going to let our hygiene level drop a little bit, and then we will head back outside and we'll start welding up our new room.
Health low.
All right, health is fine. So let's put our suit on, close this. Alrighty, perfect. All right, let's head out. Let's take a look at our... All right, temperature's probably fine for now, so let's put that in there. Sweet. Okay, now I just need to cool this down. This is at 19 degrees, so it's actually not cooling very fast, which is a bit of an issue. We're 141 degrees. I mean, it's still cooling though, so there is that. But yeah, let's go outside and actually work on this area over here for a minute while it's still fairly cool out. Alright, I'm just going to single weld everything for right now so it makes it a little bit easier for me to walk on. And then I also have to swap out my battery as well. I did get a couple of people asking me to put the portable light in my suit, which I'm probably going to end up doing that. I also need to make the ore scanner as well and see how that actually works. Alright, sweet. We'll do this, that. Alright, perfect. So that is looking good. Now, what I could probably do is I can probably start welding this all the way up. Although I'm going to have to go inside here in just a minute. I'll probably wait till our battery's dead, and then I'll head back inside. Alright, our battery's dead. Let's head back inside. And and we will continue working on this room once the black hole goes down again. But it is going to get fairly hot in there, or out there, so I don't want to really be outside unless I have to be. Sweet, okay. So in the meantime, we can start prepping this room here. So I am going to need a couple more walls, which we have just standard walls here. I could actually use those walls now that I think about it. So let's do this. I'm going to have to grab those other plastic sheets too, aren't I? So we'll do one there and one there. Let's see. Plastic sheets. I'm going to need that pipe as well. So we're going to do that, and that'll allow me to destroy those walls on the outside. And then I'm not going to destroy this wall until that room is ready. But speaking of that room, I am going to have to make some more walls. So we're going to need, let's see, 5, 10, 13, 15 walls. So that's going to be a stack of 15 steel ingots. And then I need to put like a proper to-do list as well. Let's see, swap base. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to swap our coolant from CO2 to pollutant, because the pollutant's going to be a little bit more efficient as well. But we are down to negative 1 degree Celsius, so it is actually dropping quite fast. So this is good. The only downside is I'm going to have to cool down this water. Yeah, I'll probably swap here. What if I turn this on? Oh. Okay, I mean, that's still dropping, so we're actually doing good still. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to swap this from CO2 to pollutant. I'm going to have to put our jetpack filler elsewhere, which is really not a big deal. I could even just put it right here now that I think about it. But yeah, let's start prepping this room over here. So I am going to need a couple of doors, which we're going to wait till these are done. I'm going to need iron and copper for the 2 doors. And then I'm going to need some vents. I don't really, well, yeah, yeah, I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to make an airlock in every corridor I have, just in case, we have an issue with one room. I'm going to program the door so once I walk through a door, it'll close the door behind me, which shouldn't be too difficult to do. Okay, I have too much crap on me right now. Here, I'm not actually mining. I can get rid of you. I don't really need the flares on me. Let's see. I'm not actually using the tracker right now, so we'll put that there. We'll put these in here, and then I do need to make some plastic sheets. Oh, oops. Gosh dang it. So yeah, we're going to make a couple of doors. And let's do, I have 15. Yeah, we'll just make 8 ingots worth. All right, that'll make another door. And let's make, oh crap. Gosh dang it. Yeah, we're going to do this. I also need some, well, I'll actually have more plastic sheets. So this will actually work out. All right, and more plastic sheets. So I'm gonna have to make a couple of trips, I feel, which is fine. Alright, what's the temperature at? Alright, that's actually dropping quite nicely. We're at 24.6 degrees. That did turn off. Which I wonder if that actually dropped all the way down to 20 degrees or not, like it was supposed to. All right, we have 16 plastic sheets, so we'll put those there. Which realistically, I'm probably going to need more than the 16. Because I have 15 walls, so I'm going to have to make at least... Yeah, let's place another... Let's do another 8. Because it's 2 plastic sheets per 1 wall. I'll eventually start using windows, but I'm going to do it this way for right now. Oh, that's starting to heat up. Uh-oh, it's because outside it's 600 degrees. I mean, that's fine. We should be okay. Wait, is this turned on? Oh, that did turn on. Sweet. Alright, so there's another 16, so we're going to do that. And I cannot go outside yet. Granted, the black hole will be down here pretty soon, so we should be okay here pretty quick. Alright, so we have the walls, we have the doors. I'm going to need glass. So let's do this. So this will make 2 glass sheets for us. And the glass is going to be used for these doors right here. For these guys. Alright, let's see. Actually, what did I do? I literally just had... Oh, that's where it's at. I wanted to see where we're at temperature. Well, all right, we're at about 500 degrees Celsius. This is dropping. We have not a whole lot of CO2 left in there. We have quite a bit of oxygen though, so I could start working on another batch of water, but I do need to cool this batch down. All right, you should start hopefully cooling down or cooling back down. Yeah, I think once this gets empty of CO2, we're going to swap this to pollutant. I should have a pollutant filter somewhere. Or maybe I don't. I don't know if I can know. Alright, I can probably head outside here pretty quick. It's still fairly warm out, but I do feel better about going out there. So, okay. Let's just put this right there. That'll work. Okay, so we'll have the walls. I'll basically have everything I need. I still have... Okay, so let's do this. Turn our light on so I can see. And, alright, we're just under 400 degrees Celsius. It is... Oh, crap. That's the one thing I didn't do. I didn't swap out my battery. Hang on a minute. I need to swap out the battery for our Mark II welder. Alright, so we'll put you there. I need another battery for myself, which realistically, we're going to do that. There we go. Okay. I feel like I should have had more steel sheets. Nope, we have 4 left, and that's how many more I need. So, alright, we're going to grab this and that. We'll just put these right here for right now. Let's grab the angle grinder. We're going to put those right there. And let's grab those. I'm not really using this furnace a whole lot anymore, so we should be okay. This I'm still going to use, so let's do this for a minute. That's going to go like that. And you are going to go just like that. There we are. Alright, so let's weld these up. Alright, perfect. Let's get the walls. Which we'll probably do it like that. We're just going to use normal walls for right now. Oh, I meant to do that. Alright, we're at 126 degrees Celsius, so it's about as cold as we can get.
Critical.
I do need some glass, which is going to be inside over here. Yes, hydration critical, I see that. Okay, and let's head back out here. Alright, so this is basically ready to open up. We're going to kind of flood our base a little bit, but that's fine. There we are. Alright, so now what we're going to do... Oh, sweet, this is already turned on. Beautiful. Alright, so this should slowly start to drain. Which it is. Very slowly. But I also need to get power in here as well. So we're going to extend our main power line into here and throw a bunch of lights. Alright, we're going to have both of those stay turned on. Let's see, we're at 127 degrees Celsius in there. And we're at negative 28 degrees here, so beautiful. Alright, so let's turn this on and try to cool this water down at least a little bit here. Let's see, this is at 21. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, I might just keep this where it's at. Just keep this turned on because this will slowly cool this down. It's going to take a minute, but at least that'll give us a little bit more water. Let's see, where are we at? One 1.5, 1.4. Okay, it's actually dropping fairly quick. So let's get some lights in here. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably 8 more lights. Well, we'll do 10 more lights because I know I want 2 lights here too. So 10 iron and 20 copper. So 10 iron and 20 copper. Let's see, do we have any gold? I might have actually used... Oh, never mind. There's our gold. And then, yeah, what we'll probably do is I'm going to need some more heavy cable, so we'll use this for the last of our heavy cable. And we're just going to wait until we have all the lights. Well, we're down to 158 degrees Celsius. This is still fairly hot. That's okay, though. I do need some more CO2. Which I do not want to put more CO2 in that room right now because it is 123 degrees Celsius. So that would be very, very, very bad. All right, so let's do this and that. All right, so let's get some heavy cable going. And then we're going to extend our heavy cable line down that way and connect up all those lights, similar to how I did it here. I think we're almost completely out. Yeah, it's slow, but slow process. That's fine.
Hunger caution.
Yes, I know. Hunger's bad. Water's bad. It's all bad. Alright, so we are going to do this. So yeah, let's extend this power network here. There we go. Well, 1 light of 8. I'm probably going to have to go out and get some more gold, aren't I? Which, what's the temp outside? 230. All right, I can probably go out and find some gold really quick. Maybe. Possibly. I just need a little bit of gold. There's copper. There's cobalt. Don't need you. There's silver. You know, the one time I'm actually looking for gold. You know, okay. If I don't find it, we're gonna use the ore scanner. Which maybe that's what we use to try to... Alright, there's some gold over there. But it is fairly hot out right now, and I feel like I should probably go inside and... Yeah, there's gold up there. So, yeah, we're going to head inside and... Oh, this is... that's fine. Let's make the ore scanner.
Health low.
I keep saying I'm going to actually make that, and I want to actually make it. So we're going to make the ore scanner. There was silver right there. Jesus. Okay. Close you, turn you on. Ore scanner. Ore detector. Ore detector, yeah. That's what I wanted to make. Tier. Oh, that's actually fairly simple to make. Gold, copper, and solder. Except I'm out of gold. Gosh dang it. You know what? Alright, we're just going to do that for right now, just so I can turn some of these lights on. Sweet, at least I can see a little bit anyways. So this should be, for the most part, completely clear. Alright, there's just a little bit of gas left in here. Just a minuscule amount, but this is actually looking pretty decent. I've survived 7 days without dying. Yay! I love dying that first time around. That was great. 117, and you're at 132. So this is dropping. I needed to drop another 100 degrees Celsius, technically. So, yeah, that's going up, unfortunately. So I almost want to get rid of the gas in here so I can start getting some pollutant. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's start making this. So I'm going to do a door here and a door right there. Door 1, door 2. I just need a bunch of heavy cable, actually, now. So I guess no, I'll have to wait till I can actually go and get some heavy cable, because what I would like to do is put all of our printers in this room and have this as like our unofficial, well, have this as our manufacturing room. And then over here, I can place some storage lockers and stuff out here. I'm also going to get rid of this furnace, and we're going to build an advanced furnace in here. Realistically, I'll probably build it like right here, because I could probably fit most of the printers. Actually, that's going to be pretty tight, isn't it? I guess I could stack the printers. I could have printer right here, or I could do printers on both sides. Let's see, I could do a printer here, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I can figure it out how I actually want to do it. But I feel like an advanced furnace right here actually might make more sense. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. Where do I put this freaking locker that I have? I need to figure out a place to put all my miscellaneous stuff. Okay, so I need to go out and grab some gold. I'm gonna have to eat and drink water here again pretty quick. Does not have the correct atmosphere. Yes, I know. I need to get more CO2 in here. What I'll probably end up doing is I think I'm gonna move our water filtration system at some point, and I'm going to build another cooling system here, but one's going to be for CO2 while the other is going to be for pollutant. So the pollutant is going to be our coolant gas, and the CO2 is what I'm going to use to fill up our greenhouse, but it's already going to be cool air, which is going to be nice to do that.
Hunger critical.
I kind of want to start planting some wheat seeds and stuff too, because what can I use wheat for? Let's see, reagent processor. I think I can use wheat for cereal bars. Yeah, flour. 50 flour. So I probably need to get the reagent process or yeah, let's actually start making some wheat because if I can start making some cereal bars, that'd be pretty sweet. 4 printers on 1 large tile wide plus stackers. We don't talk about the first time. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't remember what happened that first time around. All right, we're gonna take you, and then I'm gonna actually plant some wheat seeds here pretty quick as well. Phase change liquid pollutant for liquid coolant. So I actually want to get into phase changing to try to cool down our base a little bit more efficiently. I know that it's kind of a pain on Vulcan though. All right, so we're going to open this. We are going to open up our suit. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. We have a bit of an issue right now. I need to put a valve here now that I think about it. All right, we're going to eat and drink some water. I know that we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but I have a bit of a situation here. All right. Well, so much for my hygiene levels. It is too hot inside our hydroponics room because I am trying to cool our water, and that is not a good thing right now because of how hot this is. So let's close that. All right, that's starting to drop. Good God. Okay, I'm going to put a valve like right there, actually, now that I think about it. I'm going to put this valve. We're going to do that. You need to drop it faster. Let's do that. Wait, why did that drop faster when I did that? Or have 2 colons? Yeah, I think that's what I'll probably do. I'm going to probably end up moving this right here. Well, I also need to move this room back too because I'm using these 1x3 airlocks. So I'm probably going to have to move this room back. And then, because yeah, I'm going to have this. And then our hydroponics, I can actually move to an area perpendicular off of kind of how this room's going to be. So I could technically have coolers here and here, one for CO2 and one for pollutant to go into our hydroponics room. That would actually work quite well. I'm also kind of contemplating maybe having hydroponics over here and just moving our trader to like over here. Because I could technically put a hanger here and use this as like my main door to come in and out of my base. Or, because I already have CO2 right here, I could use this as hydroponics. I don't know. I have so many different ideas on how I could possibly do this. Either way, I think I'm going to have a couple of these AC setups in scattered around my base just to keep our base cool, especially when I start filling this up with oxygen. All right, what are you at? You're at 42 and you're dropping. Okay, we're good. Oh, I love it when I almost completely cook our plants. I use 1x1 and 2x2 airlocks. So I typically like the 1x1 airlocks, but because I'm gonna use cladding, like the 1x3s actually work very, very, very well. So that's why I'm using 1x3s the way
Air tank
I
low.
am. Oh, air tank low. Yay. Well, actually it's not yay, but I can get some of the oxygen out of here anyways. I do need to get more CO2 in there. So yeah, I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. Since I already have CO2 cooling right here, the only downside is I need a way to get CO2, which I already have that. And then I could do pollutant cooling along. I could make this your hydroponics room, technically. And then I could move our trader. Because if I move our trader, I would move our trader out over this way. I also do use a 1x2 vertical stack for interconnection, shooting the photos. Yeah, I did see that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up moving the trader. I could use this as manufacturing. This is hydroponics because I already have this set up here. I just need to put another setup right here. This room's going to use a stupid amount of power though. And then, yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. And then I can actually keep our water filtration right here. So that actually might work a little bit. Gosh dang it. Now I have to move the trader. I have so much work to do. Okay, well, we're gonna have to go out on a couple of mining trips now because I just made a lot more work for myself, which is, my go-to apparently. So I'm gonna need, let's see here. You know what, let's make the mining backpack, steel and Invar. All right, so I have steel, let's throw some steel there. Invar, let's throw some Invar. We're gonna make the mining backpack is what we're gonna do. Because we are going to need a crap ton of ores. So all the full stacks we're going to throw in there. Just do that. Almost need a larger 5x. Yeah, I kind of thought about that, but this room will actually work out quite nicely because I can fit these right here. The only downside, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit. Well, I should be able to fit an AC right here. It's going to be tight. I might have to. Hmm. Well, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, we should be fine, but I'm thinking I do want to make this our hydroponics room. So, all right, before I do anything else, I'm gonna have to go outside and get a bunch of resources. Turn our light on, and let's go mining. So I need gold. I need gold, I need iron, probably grab some coal. I don't really need copper. Well, I probably should grab. anything I can actually find, I should probably just start grabbing. Oh, look, we have a little bit of everything right here. I do want to start working towards the advanced furnace too, just because I want to get the sensor lenses. That'll also make mining a little easier. Okay, put you there, put you there, put you there. Grab you guys. Why can't I grab some of these and not others? That makes no sense. Freaking love the heavy mining drill. It's so fun. Okay, so there's that. Let's turn you off. Bam, bam, bam. Oops. Alright, we're gonna have a crap ton of iron, which is not a bad thing. Alright, so there's all the iron. Well, most of it anyways. Let's grab some gold. And apparently grab some more iron while I'm at it. Jesus. Okay, we have a bunch of iron and gold here now. Alright, let's do that, that, that. Put you in there, put you there. Alright, so that's gold. Well, there's a little bit more gold over here, isn't there? I probably need to try to find some copper too. So, alright, that's enough gold for right now. Let's see if I can't find some copper. I feel like I'm cave diving or so. Oh god, and the sun, the black hole's coming out again. I do need to find some coal. Alright, there's coal right there. Alright, so I got coal. Let's see, can I find some copper? I know that there, alright, there's copper right there. I think there's copper closer to the base, but you know what? This'll work. Alright, we're gonna put you in there. Alright, we're at 30. 37, and that's probably enough copper for right now. It is warming up quite a bit here. Yeah, I'm thinking making this hydroponics makes a little bit more sense. All right. The pneumatic is not bad too with the advanced canister. Yeah, I've never really used the pneumatic mining drill a whole lot. I've always gone for the heavy mining drill just because like most of the time we have like an unlimited amount of power, so I'm not really too worried about like power limitations, but okay, so let's do this.
Caution.
Again? I feel like I just emptied our waste tank. I mean, I'll empty it again, but there we go. Sweet. What was I? Oh, I was doing this. All right. Let's do this. We're gonna put you in there. We're gonna open that up. Because this will get hot enough to where we can actually smelt some steel. So this will give us 150 iron, 50 hydrocarbon, which is coal, which will turn into 200 steel. So now all we need to do is just wait for it to get hot enough. Wait a minute. Oh, you're blocked. That's an issue. So this one's not blocked. This is, though. Okay, so do I have any normal pipe on me? I don't think I do. So then what I'm probably going to have to do, I can put, all right, let's do I have any iron? I do have some iron. I'm going to have to make 2 pipe just because I don't want to leave half an ingot of iron in here. So, okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to place that right there for now. This pipe, I should be able to place right here. All right, we'll throw you there. One, two, three. All right, I'm going to have some more heavy cable. So we're going to have to dismantle this right here, which is fine. We'll just do that. Okay, we'll just do it like that, and I'm going to have to
Hydration critical.
go outside here really quick so I can place this. Furnace, and sweet. That should be close to 900 degrees now. Oh yeah, look at that. So now what I should be able to do is do this. So we're going to clear this. We're going to put that back in. And let's reprogram it. Oh, crap. Beautiful. And we've got steel. Look at that. Amazing. I do need to get some gold, so I need to remember, do not vent this atmosphere. Otherwise, we're going to have a bit of a fire. Might need a weather station. I have a weather station. I can't actually see. Yeah, it's right there on the other side. I could place it right here. But I'm gonna have cladding there, so yeah, I do actually have a weather station out there. Sweet, and now we have gold. So before I do anything, I do want to make, let's see, we have gold, we have steel. I could make just some iron here. Probably wouldn't hurt. Oh, it is actually fairly warm, our furnace right now, isn't it? The only thing no, I was able to get copper too. All right, let's do that. And we'll grab the 95 copper I was able to grab. So we're actually replenishing most of our resources right now, which is good. Sweet. All right, so we have copper, we have gold, we have iron, we have steel. We have a little bit of everything right now. So, okay, I'm going to have to do quite a bit here. So, yeah, like I said before, I'm going to have to redo all this. Brick. Because I'm going to move all of this over here, which is going to be a bit of a pain, but that'll be okay. Because then I can actually make a bigger landing pad too. Because this is what, a 5x5 is what I made this. So yeah, I'm essentially just going to, okay, I know what I'm going to do here. So oh crap, well, you know what, whatever. All right, so steel frame. So yeah, we're going to make, well, I'm actually going to need more than what this is.
Power low.
You know what? We will get this figured out. I have a couple of ideas here. And then,
Caution.
okay, what I might actually do while we're waiting, let's close this. Let's see, where are we at? All right, that's actually fairly cold. It is real, well, the temperature's actually dropping outside. All right, we're going to close that. We're going to open this. I need to get this below 50 degrees Celsius, and we can pump the water into this pipe here, and I can use it for drinking water. I also need to start making some more water too. So I think what we're going to end up doing is let's turn this on. Let's get some more water in here. Oh, that's a lot of freaking oxygen I just threw in here. Oh, crap. Oh, that would have been bad. All right, we're at 87. Let's turn this off. And this will start to cool back down for us. All right, so we're at 86 degrees. And I just made a stupid amount of I turn you off. Turn you back on. Wait, are you actually doing anything? You should be. Can I see this vent? Oh no, it's actually increasing. Okay, that's good. This is actually going to make quite a bit of water for us here. So let's see, 55 moles is 1 liter. So 110, 165 is 3 liters. So yeah, once this reaches 165, we're going to do this. So let's turn this off. So this is about 3 liters of water is what we've made right there. All right, that's actually dropping fairly quick. All right, it is cold enough for me to go back outside, so let's see. All right, we have the 25 steel frames. I do need, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's make, let's see here, because I need it to be a proper airlock. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, well, actually. Yeah, we'll do that. So I already have these ones and these ones, so I need
Health low.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm gonna have to make some more steel sheets too. So 'cause I'm gonna need 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So 31 ingots worth of steel sheets, which we'll throw right there for right now. I need a way to be able to see the weather station from inside. Or I just program lights so when the weather station like turns on, like I'll have like a yellow light indicating the storm's on the way, and then a red light to indicate the storm's here or something. That could be interesting. All right, so there's you. Throw you there. Let's go throw you all in here. And then these will be steel sheets. And then let's make some more heavy cable here. So we're just going to make a stack of heavy cable. 25 and 25. So this will make one full stack of heavy cable for us, which will be more than enough for all the lights in this room. Which, if I'm going to make this the hydroponics room, I'm going to have to try to figure out how to get this pipe over here. Which actually, I could have this come up. Like, I could. All right, I think I know how to do this. Because eventually, well, no, I'm going to keep this here, so I'll have a pipe. All right, well, that's fine. I have an idea on how I actually want to do this. All right, we're just going to do this for right now. We're just going to extend this this power cable all the way over here. Yay, we've got power. Sort of. Beautiful. All right, sweet. All of our lights are turned on. Before I go any further, I'm probably going to have to start making some solar panels because we might start running into some battery issues here pretty soon. Okay. So let's head outside and start working on our trader platform again, or our other trader platform. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll be able to dismantle some of these frames over there and reuse them. Alright, perfect. Yeah, this will make more sense now that I think about it. Health is 50%. Yep, I've been watching my health like a hawk. Now, pretty soon I'm just not going to use health as a resource. See, I feel okay about the fact that I died because I didn't die due to lack of resources. I died just because I wasn't really paying attention. Granted, that is a valid way to die, but I feel like, I don't know, I should get a pass for that. Because to be fair, I bet you if I wouldn't have tried to cook the food, I would have survived. Yeah, I still need, well, actually, no, this is, I overdid it on the steel sheets, by the way. Because I don't actually need to completely enclose these ones right now. I'll have to completely enclose the airlock, but dumb ways to die. Europa was, yeah, Europa was definitely interesting. Yeah, I had to go back and like rewatch the episode because to try to figure out exactly what happened. But yeah, there was a slow gas leak in there, and that's what caused it. All right, so more steel sheets. So I'll use, well, those are just extra technically at this point. All right, well, I can turn you off. I need to make a proper airlock right here. Which means I'm glad I made more cable. Yeah, because I'm going to have to extend this power cable this way. Although I kind of want to extend it similar to how I did these guys. Which means, yeah, how do I actually want to do this? All right, I have one door here. All right, so, okay, let's do, throw you in there. This will make 2 walls for us. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more solar panels. Once I can actually get these rooms how I want to do them, um, I'm gonna start placing more batteries along this wall right here. So this wall is gonna be batteries. This is our water filtration. This will be CO2 cooling, and this will be CO2 or pollutant cooling. So like this room's just gonna be packed with full of atmospheric stuff and power stuff. And then I'm slowly gonna start expanding, but I don't really imagine this base getting very like too big. All right. So I have plastic sheets. I probably need some more plastic sheets actually now that I think about it, because I'm gonna need 1, 2. Actually, I can probably get away with 2 more. So let's do this. We'll do plastic sheets like this. 20%? We're at 15%. Alrighty, let's eat and drink some water. I like how I can just like pull a potato from like this far away. That's hilarious. Actually, and realistically, I can put this in here. You know what? I'm going to do that after the fact. Well, here, let's do this. Suit off. Where's the baked potato? There it is.
Hunger caution.
Why do you... I stress myself. We're good. 4%. Plenty of health left. No, like, I get down to 10%, and I'm like, oh, there's still a little bit of time. And then I look, and we're down to, like, 5. I'm like, oh, crap. Oh, okay. We are good. All right, so we're going to throw that there. Let's throw this here. Let's disconnect this pipe and do that. Well, that's the only place I can put it. Well, yeah. Plenty of time. Let's see. Oh. You. Oh god, it's dark and scary in here now. There we go. Yay. I need to get power to this bench. How does one accomplish this with how I have this set up? Well, let's see here. I guess I could
Health low.
technically do it like that. You're a manual door, aren't you? Ooh. I know how to do it. Because I'm going to turn this into a... Well, we'll do it like this. We'll just do it like this for right now. That'll work. Vertical from ceiling. I thought about that. That looked really kind of weird, though. I'm going to redo this room eventually because our hydroponics room is going to be over there. So this is just more of a temporary solution. I guess in the meantime... Ooh. You know what we're going to do because I want to start making cereal bars. I'm going to need you and you.
Power low.
Turn our suit on. Here, let me just throw all of our shit out over here again. Uh-oh. Well, that was bad. On the plus side, this is cooling down nicely. We were liquid cooling, that's for sure. I had a lot of liquid CO2 in here. Nitrogen, for yeah. What's needed for bread? Let's look. Loaf of bread. So I need oil and flour. So really, that's not bad. I need the... what's it called? Yeah, the reagent press, iron and gold. I definitely have that. We're just going to throw it all in here. Yeah, so let's make the reagent processor really quick. There we go. All right, we're at 61. All right, we have a bunch of water in here right now, so that's fantastic. You should be turned... Oh, oops. There we go. I mean, realistically, I can probably open up this valve and this would be fine now. All right, so let's close this. Let's turn this on. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. We replenished our water. Bread is the... Yeah, no. I'll probably end up... Well, I'll need to get a decent supply of nitrogen, which I don't have yet. I do want to make granola bars. I forgot what I was doing. Frick. You know what? I don't even care. I got sidetracked with food. Which, to be fair, that happens to me in real life, too. I'm stuck. No, we're good. Alright, let's put that there. Let's put this here. So, now I need wheat. Well, I have wheat. Heck yeah. Look at that. We have wheat. We have one thing of wheat. Compositing taters gets you the nitrogen of furnace gases. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the nitrogen. I know that there's different ways I can get nitrogen for soy oil. So, like that'll be very doable. But yeah, farming lead, silicon at 1 mole, nickel, gold, copper. Yeah, the only downside of that is I'd be doing a lot of freaking mining. I guess I could use Amy too. When Amy mines, is that like degassed ore, or is that ore that I can like gas or degas myself? Compositing taters gets you the nitrogen for furnace. Yeah, I'll probably end up using compositing more than anything else. So, all right, we have wheat being grown though. So once I get wheat, I can grind it into flour, and then I can turn the flour into cereal bars. I need 50 flour though. How much is one thing of yeah, how much is one thing of wheat give you for flour? Let's see. Where's the flour at? Baked potato, cake, eggs. I don't see flour in here. Unless I passed it. I very well could have. Alright, let's do this. Pulverized wheat. Key ingredient in many foods created by the microwave and the kit. So, how much flour does one wheat give you? Well, that might just be something we'll have to look at. All right. Well, while our wheat is slowly growing, I'm still gonna have to live off of food. So what we're gonna or live off of potatoes. So we're gonna slowly get rid of these potatoes and slowly replace it with wheat. Because if I can get cereal bars, that'll be better for our water intake for sure. 10 grams of flour for one thing of wheat. And if I believe I get 3 wheat. So, okay, I'm gonna Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of wheat then at that point, but that's okay. All right, so let's put our suit back on.
Power low.
Yes, I know. Power's sort of low. All right. This is a freaking mess in here. This is ridiculous. Let's see how hot is it outside. Oh, it's actually cool out. This is turning into liquid. Perfect. So yeah, what we're going to end up doing then is all of this water I'll put in here to get cooled down by our CO2, and then we will pump it into our pipe network. So that's actually working out quite nicely. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to continue working on our airlock here. So I should have a powered vent, which we have right there. All right, let's do this. Powered vent. I need 2 pipes and 2 plastic sheets. I already have plastic sheets. I'm gonna have to make more plastic sheets, and we have iron here. We're just gonna use this last bit of iron to create more pipes. And let's make some more plastic sheets. I'm also gonna have to put more iron in here either way, so I can make another passive vent. Oh, there's 4 plastic sheets. I didn't really need that many, but that'll work. All right, let's throw you in there. And let's make a passive vent. You know, now that I think about it, I probably didn't even need the pipe because there's pipe right here. But you know what? Oh well. I'm going to need some insulated pipe. Let's just do, I actually just need 1 insulated pipe for how I want to do this. All right, and then 2 plastic sheets, 2 pipe. Perfect. Let's get 2 glass. There's 1, there's 2. This will work for now. Gosh dang it. There we go. Yeah, my 2% battery would not have been able to do that. All right, so there's that. Now let's do the walls. And then I need to get rid of you, get rid of you. Yeah, I kind of went overkill on the freaking on the pipe. That's okay though. Screwdriver. And then I need a welding torch and plastic sheets. Sweet. All right, so there's a vent for us. I do need to get power in here as well. So we'll do that there. We're going to do this. Uh, um, This is only one piece of glass. I need another piece. Gosh dang it. Ah, typical. Okay. Is it in there? It's not in there. Well, there's one there. So I guess what I'm gonna have to probably do. Alright, and then I need a hand drill. Yeah, we're just gonna use this as a manual airlock for right now. Which would work perfectly, except for the fact that there's a big gaping hole right here. On the plus side, I can see my weather station from right here. So, frick. How do I want to do this? That can go like that. So, okay. This is going to go up. We're going to have a light right here.
Hydration critical.
Alright, I'm going to have to open and close this really freaking fast. I mean, that wasn't bad. I am going to eventually fix our cable management, but for right now, we're just going to... There's the glass sheet I needed. Okay. There we are. Alright, let's open this back up and suck all the air out of here, which kind of got everywhere. Gosh dang it. You know what? Let's turn both of those on. That'll hopefully get rid of our gas a little faster. So, speaking of... Well, actually, this has nothing to do with gas, but I need to make some more lights here. Can I demonstrate a way to cool water that's like 100 times simpler? I am open to any suggestions. Granted, I mean, the cooling the water's not terrible. It's actually working decently, but that actually might annoy me a little bit. Well, once there's like walls and stuff and I have a ceiling, I'm not going to be able to tell the difference of which way the cable's going. Yeah, that should be fine. That works. Alright, so we'll do this for right now. So, alright, I have this airlock essentially built. Now I need to redo our landing pad. I just took a deep breath. I thought the base was going to explode hydrogen. Check the Atmos tablet. It's going to dangerous to ignite anything. Oh, you mean like start a printer and stuff? No, we're fine. There's nothing in here. Well, there's stuff over here, but as long as there's no oxygen, we should be fine. And there's a little bit of methane, but no, we should be okay. Okay. So, yeah, what I need to do is I'll probably get rid of the trader for right now, because I can always call him back. I mainly got what I needed from him when he started up the printer. Yeah, that's what happened to my Europa base, unfortunately. Oh, we have no CO2 in here anymore. So we're essentially just using this as a cooling pipe right now. That's 300 degrees. Gosh dang it. Well, all right, once nighttime hits again, we'll, actually, you know what? Let's get some more water here. We'll just do this. Yeah, we actually have quite a bit of water in here. There's 110. If I have 220 moles, that'll give us 4 more liters of water. All right, let's turn this off for right now. We'll let you catch up a little bit. Okay, so our landing pad will be out here. I need to kind of reprogram everything. I kind of like having the weather station right there. What I can probably do, because yeah, I plan on using this as our manufacturing room in here. This will be hydroponics. But I need to start working, but I can't really go outside at the moment, so okay. I guess in the meantime, I could continue working on this room here. Essentially, what I'm going to have to do is I need to get a proper airlock going because I'm going to have to separate the, well, not really separate the rooms and the gases and stuff, but if I have a room that becomes compromised, I want to like secure it off. So let's make some more vents, powered vents. One, two, three, 4 more powered vents. Steel, Electrum, and Invar. Oh, there's Electrum. Steel, 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 and then Invar's here. I really should make that light. And more steel. All right, so I need 4 of these. Yeah, I'm going to automate our airlocks. And that's what I need the powered vents for. So I'm going to redo these airlocks, obviously. Make those automated. I'll make, well, these ones are almost ready to be automated. So I have a couple of ideas here. We're down to 85% health, so I have to keep an eye on that. All right, so there's 2. There's 3. Let's make 1 more. So we're going to place 1 there, 1 there. One right there. And last but not least, well, I would say I made all these pipes for a reason, but at the same time, I don't actually have enough. So yeah, we'll finish these ones right now, and then we'll work on these ones later. So there's that. The only downside to this is in the way. I guess I could move this over here. That'll work. And then I can place the vent right here. Okay, I know how to do that. I use the large vents with an insulated tank with a back pressure relay to set up. Yeah, I just suck out all the air and then I just open up the door and it just pressurizes itself. I could do a tank and go that route, but I've actually never
Health low.
done that. Silicone. All right, so I need 2 of these, and then I need 2 passive vents. Oh. Iron. Where did all my iron go? It's right here. All right, we're at 70% for health, so far we're okay. Oh, wait, why did I do it right there? Hang on a minute. I don't care about doing this one quite yet. We're going to do that. I'm excited to get lockers back at some point. Yeah, me too. I really need lockers. There we are. Okay, so we are going to do... Let's turn our light on. We're going to do that. Let's do this. Turn you on and put you right there. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, I know that this is a manual airlock for right now. I am going to turn it into an automated airlock. I just need to get some consoles and stuff too. Sweet. So if I am to turn this into a automated airlock, let's get some more heavy cable here.
Hunger critical.
Some more heavy cable. I also need a console, which I can put the console probably just right here, actually. I cannot wait to get a locker again. It's going to be so nice. Alright, so I need some iron. All my iron is in here. Alright, so console, let's do advanced airlock. Alright, and then let's make some heavy cable here. I do need some glass. Beautiful. Okay, so let's make 2 more things of glass here. Let's make 2 things of plastic sheets. I'm going to make 4 just in case. Probably don't need to, but that works. And then I need heavy cable to hook up to our doors here. There we go. Now this is basically almost ready to completely hook up and automate, which is going to be nice. I'm almost out of copper for cable coil again. Oh well. Ah, there we go. And down, down. A couple more pieces. Which all we have is 3 more pieces, so hopefully this is enough. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Gosh dang it. I don't even know why I bothered closing it. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll do this. Alright, so there's 1. So now we can do this door. Alright, we're at 28% for health. Sweet. Now I can properly program this airlock. So this is going to be exterior, and this is going to be
Health critical.
exterior. Which, yeah, once I get our baits a little bit better, I'm gonna have a main power line and then transformers coming off of it for each individual room and area as well. So it'll make it a little bit easier to do everything here. So for right now, we're gonna do 0, 0. Oh crap, I do need a gas sensor, don't I? Well, alright, let's hold off on that for right now. I forgot about the gas sensor. Thank you for that. Ah, now we need more heavy cable. I really only need 2 heavy cable, though. There's 1. And you're not wrong. We are at 10%. All right, let's take care of that first.
Oxygen low. Hunger
Woo!
quotient.
That was close. Wow. Oh, that was close. Again. Apparently, I just like to live right next to the edge and potentially go over it every once in a while. All right, so let's do this. Oh. Huh. Uh-oh. I mean, it's actually kind of funny that that broke. Oh boy. I got that a little too cold, I think. Dang it. Yeah, so 3% is the new low for the day. Well, on the plus side, I did get some CO2 in here. Not a whole lot. On the downside, I kind of blew her pipe. But at least we're cold in here, so yeah, we'll probably work on our atmospherics a little bit more in the next episode. I'm probably going to call the episode here. It is getting a little bit late and I have to work in the morning, but yeah, I blew our pipe. So yeah, I'm going to actually swap out our CO2 for pollutant because I'll be able to get that at least a little bit lower in terms of temperature. And then I'm going to, at least until I get our hydroponics room over here figured out. Well, I can actually just go out and show you guys now because that's all taken care
Oxygen
of.
low.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Yeah, so once I get this hydroponics room set up and running and ready to go, I'm going to, well, obviously fix this pipe because now I have a just normal. Oh, no, we just have normal CO2 in here still. So, okay, that actually works out quite well. So then I can easily repair that. But I'm going to swap this out for pollutant. And then I'm just going to run our CO2 pipe inside here. And unfortunately, the CO2 is going to be superheated. But once I get my atmospheric system set up over here how I want, I'll have cool CO2 as well as pollutant coming in here and cooling this area down. So then I can actually grow crops and get a lot more oxygen and stuff. But until then, I kind of have this temporary setup over
Low
here,
critical.
which really isn't bad. It's actually working for the most part. But yeah, our CO2 got a little too cold right there, but that's an easy fix at least. In the next episode, what I would like to do is move all of the trader stuff and the landing pad and everything right here, which I already pre-programmed, which kind of sucks. On the plus side, I can actually just move it all over here and just redo some of these guys, and I can reprogram it fairly easily. So it's not the worst thing. But yeah, I'm gonna have our trader over here, and then over here we'll have our manufacturing room, which I'll put our printers in. Um, well, we have a little bit of oxygen here. That is probably not good. Ooh, ooh, wait a minute. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's gonna take a minute for that little vent to get all of the oxygen and CO2 and stuff. So this was on the entire time. I wonder how much I actually lost. Frick. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Here, let's dump some of the water that we have in here for right now. Well, we have about 3 liters of water in here, so that actually worked pretty well. On the plus side, what if I do this? Okay, that's actually cooling it quite fast. So that's also the upside of having like less pressure in some of these pipes is it cools stuff a little bit quicker too. Enough to be annoying. All right, that's actually cooling fairly quick. So let's turn you off and that'll cool itself right. Yeah, look how fast that freaking cools. Yeah, so this actually works really well considering. And then if I turn you again, yeah, we'll be able to cool the water fairly quickly. But yeah, so that's my plan for the next couple of episodes, or at least hopefully the next episode. Once I get this room over here done and I get the printers out of here, I'm gonna expand our batteries here because we're gonna run out of power here fairly quick, especially once I get these ACs built over here for our pollutant. But yeah, I'm gonna call the episode here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. And before I do that, we're gonna swap the battery out because thank you for reminding me. But yep, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching.